I mean, they're pretty much in every county in Michigan. Just take a kind of close look how close we are actually to downtown. I mean, the Renaissance Center is right there, but coyotes and other wildlife are starting to really thrive here in Metro Detroit because of examples like this tall grass, these areas where they do have a lot of place to roam around. And just as I showed up here this morning, I caught the coyote. He was jumping back into the bushes after kind of roaming around in the field. But the biggest piece of advice, if you do come across one of these creatures, is to stay away. From bald eagles to fox, pheasants, and coyotes, wildlife is on a comeback here in Metro Detroit. But one animal out of the group I mentioned is becoming more brazen, and that is the coyote. Terry McFadden has been with the Michigan DNR for over 20 years and says he isn't surprised that coyotes are making a comeback in urban settings like Detroit.
A lot of times in urban settings, they learn to not be afraid of people because they're not being harassed or hazed.
According to the DNR, they're in every county in Michigan, and they're scavengers and will pretty much eat anything from insects to rodents and sometimes even house pets like cats and small dogs. McFadden says they're becoming more visible in urban settings.
They can be more visible right now. Years ago, we didn't have very many, but they are very adaptable. And, the more green space we have lots of corridors.
Detroit does have a lot of urban green space and tall grass that does serve as a shelter for the pheasants and other wildlife, including the coyote. But sometimes those abandoned buildings also serve as shelters.
We have a lot of restored habitat along the riverfront, and Detroit's doing a really good job of, recapturing a lot of the urban blight.
And here are some ways that you can protect yourself while out on a trail or in an urban environment if you do come across a coyote. Become large by raising your hands over your head. Do not leave food outside. Prepare for encounters if you're in their natural habitat. Don't turn your back on them. Yell and scream if they are trying to approach you. And there's our little friend right there, that pheasant. He's hiding in the tall grass, hiding from the coyote or the group of coyotes that we saw out here last week and that I saw this morning. So this is just a prime example of why these pheasants and other wildlife use the tall grass like this to kind of take cover from predators such as the coyote. So again, the last thing that you want to do if you are approached by a coyote, this is the last resort, is to throw a rock near or at it or even a stick to kind of startle the coyote if it does keep approaching you. Again, that is a last resort, and the biggest thing is to not feed them and to definitely stay away and give them their space. Reporting in downtown Detroit, I'm Peter Maxwell, 7 Action News.
Yeah, and that's what